I have none.
You
Like,
have none.
I don't know. I honestly don't know at this point. I thought I had goals, and then I got into university, and then I had to like reevaluate everything, and I just don't know anymore. I think my only goal that's been consistent is that I want to adopt kids just because I enjoy
Mm,
working with kids in general. So like if I can like just have children in my life, I'm
mm-hmm.
happy. So I want to have kids in my life in one way or another.
I
Not like
see.
kids that I birthed, but like
Yeah,
I want to take
adopted.
care of other kids.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So if I can like, because even with the arts, like if I was gonna be in the faculty of art, I would have done something that's a discipline that I can apply to kids because I would have wanted to work with kids anyway.
Hmm.
So like if I was going to be doing English, I probably would have been I wanted to be an ESL teacher.
Oh,
So teach
yes.
English to foreign students and just I thought anything that has to do with kids, I'm pretty content. So
Hmm.
I
I
think that's
see.
the only thing that's remained consistent. All my other goals are in the trash. Don't know where they went.
Oh,
But
gosh.
I think the only thing that's remained consistent is that I want to be around kids. I want
Hmm.
to make kids happy.
That's nice. And how
Hmm.
come you love kids so much?
Huh?
How come you love kids so much?
I think just because I think this actually goes into creativity again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the things that I love so much about kids, which upsets me because kids are like losing their creativity very quickly
Oh,
nowadays.
yeah.
Just because of like how we're advancing, like with technology, they just don't have as much room for like creativity. Because like I remember like when I was younger, like me and my friends, we could make a game out of like a box. Give us a box, and we like will start a whole new story of like games
Yep.
where like this is a house, this is a spaceship, this is our base, and we're on a mission, and it's just a
Mm-hmm.
box. But then now kids have like tablets and all that stuff, so like they don't really have as much room for creativity just because it's already being presented to them. Like they're not coming up with their own ideas and stuff like that. So it makes me a
Mm-hmm.
bit sad. But
I
like with
see.
kids, I guess I love them so much because of the idea that they're just so like they're like a blank slate, and their creativity is so like pure because it
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been influenced for the most part. It hasn't been influenced by assu- assuming it's a kid that's like been raised in a safe environment. Their
Mm-hmm.
creativity hasn't been influenced by any negativity, so it's just like just a pure expanse of like knowledge. Like they just that's all they know. They just know good, and I appreciate that a lot in kids. Like, oh my goodness, it makes me so happy. Just the idea of how kids just first of all, they're just like the purest form of humans
Yeah.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no pure form of human possible than a
Mm-hmm.
kid who literally knows nothing and just wants to have a good time.
True.
So, I really enjoy that about kids. And
True,
I
true.
like kids are pretty whack sometimes, like they're kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't say
I like
stupid,
how they
but they can be something else sometimes. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and I like it when they express it like without any type of restraint because like they don't necessarily care what you think about what they have to say or like what they do, so they're just gonna like live their best life. Like kids will start like freaking rolling on the ground in the middle of nowhere with
I
no
do that
care about
too,
what anyone
though.
thinks about it. Huh?
I said I do that too, just on the daily. I do the
Yeah, in
weirdest
public,
things.
rolling on the ground in the middle of the road.
Yeah, actually, when I was not like in a mall, I'm not gonna suddenly stop, drop, and roll, but like when I was at the theater being an assistant stage manager, I would just roll around the stage. People were just walking around me, just trying to step over me, so I'm like, they're not in my way, and I would just freely be allowed to roll around. If I'm in an environment where, first of all, it's okay for me to just roll around like that, not to be very just out of nowhere strange, but and I feel comfortable with the people around me. I don't feel like they're gonna judge me for rolling around.
Yeah, yeah,
Even then, I
yeah.
kind of don't care, but still, I feel like why not roll around? And like there was one
I
time,
agree.
yeah, there was one time when my mom and I were in the car driving to go grocery shopping, and I just started slapping my thighs. And my mom's like, "Why are you slapping your thighs?" And I'm like, "Because I just want to feel it. I want to feel the pain, and I want to make my thighs turn red." I don't know where that came from. But as soon as she looked at me strange, I'm like, is this weird? Am I doing something weird? And so I just kind of stopped because I don't
No,
know.
it's because society has conditioned us to think it's weird. That's why I just love childlike mentalities like that. Like, I think the only thing that, is that I do that's like that is that I just start dancing randomly. Like, even if there's no
Yes.
music, I just like to move my body sometimes. And,
Yes.
ooh, I really appreciate my roommate because she's also like that. So we'll go to, the mall and we'll just start dancing. Like, not even, little shy dancing. Like, we'll be dancing down the hall.
Oh gosh.
In the
Oh
mall because we hear
gosh.
music. So we'll just straight up start dancing out of nowhere, and I appreciate it because then it's like, even though there's all these people around us who are probably like, what the hell are they doing? If there's that one person that's supporting me and also in that same playful mindset, then it's chill.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Because I feel like at this point in life, to care so much about what other, and I'm realizing that you can hear my mom showering in the background. Like, this mic picks up everything. My gosh. You could just hear every flipping drop of water. But anyways, I realize that to care so much about what other people think, especially in this day and age, it's kind of not going to get you anywhere. Because there's so many eyes on you constantly, especially with social media and all that, and everybody's just recording everything to get the next viral video. So it's like, if you care so much about what other people think, it's just gonna stop you from living your life. Because
Yeah.
anytime I or other people around me just start caring so much about what other people think, it just takes the fun out of everything. I'm like, no, just live your life. Like, you and your selfies, and I try to tell you, take some funny selfies, and you're like, no, but people are gonna think that's weird. And I'm like, who cares?
It's not even that. I don't want to leave room for anyone to I just don't want to, put myself out there. I'd rather just live my life on my
But
own.
why not put yourself out there?
No. I mean, put myself out there on social media. I'll put myself out there in person. I'm fine with that. But I just don't want to, it's not a platform that I care for enough.
I feel like that can be continued into a whole nother podcast episode because this would just take another flipping hour. We could talk for 3 hours, I swear to flip every single time, but that we can only just take 1 hour this time around, another hour for the next episode, and then another hour for the next episode. My goodness. But not right now because I still need to eat my dinner. So I'm really
Me too.
hungry.
I haven't eaten.
It's 9 p.m. there. How have you not eaten yet?
Okay, listen. We've already talked about my eating habits. I have dinner at 10.
My gosh, I'm not even hungry at that point anymore. If it's 10 p.m., I'm like, I'm done, whatever.
Yeah, I just don't realize that I haven't eaten until it's late, and I'm like, oh shoot, I should probably do that.
Yeah.
And then,
That's what school does to you. You forget about your health.
yeah.
You just stress out about everything and essays and exams and oh my gosh.
Oh, no, thank you.
That's a whole other episode. There's just 10 million episodes that this could be about. But to sum up this one, I guess I'll ask you, do you have a life motto that helps you to keep going with your creative mind? Or maybe not even a life motto, but just a motto that helps you to keep going, or maybe a quote or anything that reminds you of why you love being creative and why you do what you do, why you love it so much.
I think this goes back to Oscar Wilde again.
I see.
And it's the whole art is useless. I think that's even though it's kind of like a contradiction, I think that's what helps me continue to keep doing art, just because of the fact that in general there's some things that you want to make, but then you know what, like you said, this is going to turn into a whole other thing, so I'm not going to get into it. But I like the idea of being able to make art that I can disassociate from and just express myself, because I honestly feel because sometimes I'll do something maybe I'll write a story or I'll do a painting, and then a couple weeks later I'm looking at it and I'm like, who the heck made this? I just feel so detached from it.
Me too.
And it's it's just such a nice feeling, because it's in that moment while you're expressing your creativity, you're like living a whole other world. Like you're not even living your own life anymore. Like it's just like you're in this whole other plane of like reality, and then you just like, it feels so nice to step into that. Like it's a way of de-stressing for me.
Yes, me too.
And then like it's just so absurd to me to like look at my own art like a couple weeks later and be like, whoa, where did that come from? Like who made that? It's just a cool, it's pretty cool to me.
Yeah,
and
me
also,
too.
The whole thing of how this is another Oscar Wilde thing, but he said how we shouldn't use art for recognition, which I think is also like something that was like super absurd to me when I first discovered him in high school, and I was like looking into his philosophy. I was like, what do you mean you don't use art for recognition? Because like literally hella artists, like they have recognition, like all their art has recognition, and like they make money off of it. Like, is that not recognition? Like doing art for work, isn't that recognition of a sort?
I guess.
He was saying how, yeah, so I was like, it was just absurd to me. I didn't get it. But then like now I understand that like basically what he's saying was that your art doesn't need recognition. Like, if you do your art for yourself, you're going to be so much more content than if you're doing it for anyone else.
I didn't hear the last part. You kind of faded out there.
If you do your art for yourself, you're going to be way more content than if you're doing it for anyone else.
Ooh,
and
yes.
if you're like, yeah, and the whole idea of like how if you do your art to impress other people, if you don't receive that, you're going to fall into depression. Like, you're just going to be devastated. Like, if you're being dependent on being recognized by other people and being acknowledged, when you don't receive that, when you do receive it, you're going to feel great, you'll feel satisfied in the moment, but then you're going to keep continuing to want that same acknowledgement and, like, recognition, and you're going to want more and more and more, and then when you don't receive it, it's literally going to be so devastating when it doesn't need to be, because your art doesn't need to be recognized for it to be good. Which I think is really important. Like with the underrated artists that we were talking about, like people like these freaking singer and songwriters that like they don't get the recognition that they deserve. Like as much as we would love for them to get that recognition, I think it's still important to remember that regardless of whether or not people know about them, their art is still amazing.
Yes.
It doesn't need to be recognized.
And they're doing what they love. That's what matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Like, I feel like this could be, like, we need to do, like, a part 2, because this could just go on and on. I have so many more questions still. But this has already been an hour and basically 4 minutes. And you need to eat. I need to eat. We can continue this next week if you're available, sweetie pie. But thank you so much. Like, it was amazing.
Thank you for having me. I can't believe I get to be on Matika's podcast.
Oh my God. Okay, my child. I love you.
I love you too. Have a good night.
Bye.
Enjoy your dinner.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.